little bit more quiet on this one because my family is all still in bed. So hopefully this sounds okay. Now I am doing a super quick layout here. This one I've first power scrap in a couple of weeks, and I just needed to get back to basics. Basically, you know what it's like when you've been scrapping and scrapping and scrapping and you're on a roll, and then you don't do any for a week or two, and then you go, I've kind of lost my groove. It's your mojo, your groove, your I find that I feel a little bit clunky. I don't feel as smooth with what I'm doing. So I knew that I wanted to make this particular layout, and I knew that I wanted to use pinkish purples. So because they were the colours of the table sprinkles and stuff that we had used. So that is where my colour palette came from. I apologise, I just yawned. It is so early in the morning. The sun's not even up yet. Now, I'm trying to get my voiceovers done before I have to start my working week because this week is crazy. Even though there is a public holiday in here, Anzac Day for those of us in Australia and New Zealand, it's, slightly crazy. But as you can see, this is just coming together. It's not difficult. I have used so I've used white as my base, and then I've cut a 1/4 inch off my purple sheet, and that went down. Then the hearts, I've left a 1-inch border, and then I've used the center of the purple in the very middle. So it totally came together, and I love how it looks. Now here I'm using a sanding block. This is a way of creating distressing without sort of fraying the edges of the paper with a distress tool. So this may be something that is more up your alley when it comes to distressing things. Some people like a lot of texture. I quite often really get into it with the distressing tool and really fray up the edges. Excuse me. But sometimes I want distressing, but I don't want all that thick. You know, the paper, when you use a distressing tool, you kind of get paper everywhere. So I decided this time that I was going to just use my my sandpaper, my buffing tool, and it's just a nail file, guys. It's not a special tool. It's an old nail file that I use now in my craft room. So it's not an expensive tool at all. Quite often you'll find in the scrapbooking world you can use things from around your house and you can just repurpose them, and that way it doesn't cost you a small fortune. Now here is where I realized I probably should have put down the silver before I glued down that other bit, and because I haven't used tape runner, couldn't really lift it up, so I wanted to bring in a little bit more of that silver metallic glitter cardstock. That cardstock is from KMART. It is fantastic. No glitter comes off it. It's fantastic. I love it. I don't use silver a lot because, to be honest, it's not that this is a way of using actual glitter and keeping it on your page and not getting it everywhere, by the way. Now, I'm just using clear glue and some glitter. For some reason, it was drying really, really quickly. It wasn't cold. It was actually quite a warm day, but it was quite humid. So I actually thought this would be fine, but I sort of struggled with it a little bit. I don't know why it was doing that, but this is a really good way of getting something nice and glittery without it coming off on your hands in your scrapbook. So just mix your glitter with your glue, and it works a treat. Now I did end up putting, here you can see I did go over the top of it because there were a few bits that were a bit chunky in my mind. This is just the cheap glitter from the $2 shop. Actually, I think I got it from Kmart, that particular pile. Now, because this is just like school glue, as you can see, you can just lift it up off your mat. It's not a problem at all. Didn't make you watch all of that though, because how boring. Now, I'm going around and I'm adding some foam tape to the background of the top layer of my Sweet 16. I cut this out of my CRICUT using CRICUT Design Space. It was just, I typed Sweet 16 into the search bar and this is one that popped up. I can't tell you, I didn't even write down who it actually was that had created it, but I just typed Sweet 16. I apologise. Oh my goodness. I've been awake half the night. I don't know why. It is just insane. It's been, for Queensland, any Queenslanders that know what our weather's like, we've had rain over the weekend and yesterday was actually quite cool. I actually pulled out a cardigan yesterday. It was actually cool. So in Queensland, we don't get a lot of cold days. I lovingly, I quite often and very lovingly make the statement all the time that we get like 3 days of winter a year, and I've got to tell you that's pretty accurate. So we're already down 1 day of winter by the feel of yesterday. So let's see how many. I should actually tally it, shouldn't I? How many days did I actually feel cold in the season? I should do that. I actually might do that. That would be funny to be something different. Anyway, but these are the little tiny table sprinkly bits that if you go to your $2 shops, they quite often, and Kmart, they all have them. In your party section, you can get these table sprinkles, right? Which, if you've never seen them before, they're just something that when you're having a party, if you just put down your plastic tablecloth or your linen tablecloth, whatever you're using, and then you sprinkle these across it, it gives you a nice feel to the party. It sort of gives you the atmosphere, and it's all pretty and sparkly and all that sort of thing. So that's what I was using. Now I've gone through and I've just pulled out some hexagon. They're all the same purple, which worked beautifully, and they're just different shapes and bits and pieces. So I'm just going around gluing these down, and to be honest with you, that's where I thought I was going to leave this page. But the way I'm scrapbooking lately is I'm actually I'm doing a little bit and then I have to go to work. So I do a little bit in the morning and then I come back to it either that afternoon or the next morning before work starts again. And I do a little bit of crafting, just a little bit of scrapping, and I record it over a few days. Anyway, so what I had actually done, as you can see, it's a different day now, and I wasn't satisfied. It wasn't enough. So I decided to add some extras on there. So I put the 16s on there. This photo is just Angela and her boyfriend, and at the time, for now, these guys they've got a really sweet relationship. It's quite cute. And I'm adding a little bit of, now I know I put glitter on this, but I actually by accident dropped a couple of these hexagon glitters on top of the finer glitter, and it looked really cool. So it's another way that you can add a little bit of chunkier glitter on top of the fine glitter, and it gives it it just looks a bit different. Have a look at it. It's only like a minute away. Have a look at the close-ups and you can see how it just adds a little bit of something different. It draws your eye to it a little bit more. Now, this is not a difficult layout. This is something super duper simple. The papers I used were the DCWV Confetti Party Pad. It's a 12 by 12 paper pad, and I got that from Spotlight years ago. I used liquid pearls in Mermaid and Raspberry. I used CRICUT Design Space for the Sweet 16. And yeah, other than that, it was just the sprinkles. Super simple. Not a difficult one at all. You could copy this for any age of birthday, whether it's a girl or a boy. You could go blue, you could go gold, you could go red glitter. You could go red, white and blue if you wanted to go sort of that patriotic feel for your July 4th for all my US people. Or even something like Australia Day, we could do our national flag colour, which is red, white and blue. Or if you are, what else? What else could you do? Obviously any age of birthday. You could do a 50th wedding anniversary like this. You could do a wedding day like this. You could do, there is so many. Now the offset that I did create on this cut file. So the cut file I drag it into Cricut Design Space, and then I just create an offset for it. Click the offset button and it automatically created it. I think I only did 0.69 on this one because I didn't want it to be a massive chunky sort of offset. But this is it, guys. Let me know what you think. Let me know if, I know this one's a simple one, but sometimes, and I've been asked to do some more easier pages that people could copy. See those silver bits? See how they're a little bit chunkier and it kind of looks rhinestone-y, but it's not. It's just the little glitter sprinkly bits. It's really nice. I love it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, show me some love if you're enjoying what I'm doing here, getting value from my videos. I'd love to hear it in the comments, and I will chat to you again soon, guys. Bye for now.